Hello, hope everyone's doing healthy and happy. I'm here to share with you the story of Alex and his stint with speed dating. For all of us not popular with the concept, speed dating is quite a popular phenomena in Western countries where single men and women enroll for a session and to find their suitable dating partners. And how that works is each woman is allocated a table. And when the bell rings, the man is seated at the table, speaks to the woman for 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, there's another bell, he moves on to the next table, and so on and so forth. At the end of the entire session, the woman gets to choose which man they would like to go out on a date with. So there was this young man, Alex, as I was talking to you about, who went to several of these sessions but never got picked. He started feeling terrible about himself, and his sister stepped in and said, "Alex, what's the problem? A fine young strapping man like you shouldn't have a problem in finding a date. You know what? I'll accompany you to the next session and see where it is that you're going wrong." So she observed him in the next session, and at the end of it, she was aghast. She said, "Brother, do you know what you're doing? The entire 5 minutes that you've been allocated to spend talking to the woman, you've been going on talking yourself. You haven't let her speak a single word. And I can tell you, no woman would like to go out on a date with a man who doesn't let her speak." Now that was a point of reckoning for Alex, but this story also beautifully demonstrates a quality that I'd like to bring about today in our conversation, which is empathy. Empathy is nothing but getting attuned to another person's feelings and emotions. And I do a lot of work around it in the areas of leadership, communication, emotional intelligence. And today, in this very unusual paradigm we find ourselves in because of the virus, empathy has become more critical than ever before. You will find your friends, family, colleagues reaching out to you, voicing their worries, their anxiety, their emotions. And what is the best way to approach it with empathy? So in today's video, I will share with you my experience of 4 common empathy mistakes that I have spotted people make and I make myself. So let's start with the first one. This one is called deflecting. Deflecting is when a colleague talks to you in the morning and says, "You know what, I woke up with a sore throat and I'm really worried it's this coronavirus." And you say, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. What about the client meeting I asked you to follow up on? Did you manage to contact him?" Now, a lot of us are really uncomfortable talking about issues which we don't have answers to, and hence we change the topic. But what it does to the other person, it makes that person feel like you don't care and like their feelings haven't been acknowledged or are not important. The second mistake we make is called minimizing. Imagine a friend of yours reaches out to you and says, "You know what, I've just been informed that I have to deal with a 6-month pay cut of 25%. And that's going to hit me hard because I have mortgages to pay, I have household expenditures to take care of." And you say, "You know what, at least you just have a 25% cut. I know of another company which has cut employees' salaries by 50%. There are others who are firing people. So you're better off." Now, while your intention might have been to spot a silver lining or to tell your friend that there are other people who are in a worse of situation, what this kind of a statement, which starts with an "at least" or comparison to another person, does is it makes that person feel whether they are wrong in feeling what they are feeling. The third thing we often do is called diminishing. A classic example would be, say your 10-year-old daughter or son wakes up and says, "Dad, I feel very low. I can't deal with this sitting at home the whole day. I miss my friends." And you say, "Young man, be strong. Look at me. There's nothing so major that has happened in life. You have all the comforts in this house, so stop cribbing." Now, while your intent again is to help that young man, what you've done in that whole conversation is you've made him feel like, one, you don't care, second, dismissive, like his opinions and his feelings are not valid. And the fourth thing, something which I do often, is being a fixer. So we all have this innate need to offer solutions. And this happened to me recently when a colleague called me up and said she was not able to manage working from home with so many people around, kids to take care of, and the office work piling up. And my instant response was, why don't you try this? So sometimes, especially in these times, people are not looking for solutions because the solutions are very obvious, but they just need somebody to listen to them. So those were some of the common mistakes that we make, and today I'd like you to be intentional and observant when you're interacting with others. If you find yourself doing either of these four, deflecting, minimizing, diminishing, or trying to be a fixer, check yourself. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the practical strategies of how you demonstrate empathy. You can follow me on YouTube or Instagram to be updated of my upcoming videos.